What is up, guys? Today's video, I'm going to share exactly how to wholesale rental properties with tenants in them. And really, I'm going to break down the exact things you need to know about dealing with houses with landlords in them. I'm going to give you the ultimate step-by-step guide on that today, what you need to be asking your sellers, exactly the secrets it takes to wholesaling houses with tenants in them. So many beginner wholesalers get really confused on the process of dealing with tenants and landlords. I'm going to tell you exactly the right things to say so you can have success. And most importantly, how to deal with tenants the right way when it comes to your cash buyers, guys. This is the stuff that I need to be sharing. This is the stuff you guys need to be knowing about. And I'm excited to bring it to you guys today. So if you get any value out of the video today, do me one huge favor, guys. Just smash that like button and subscribe. I'm telling you, smash that like button, subscribe, with the most free value from me. And let's break down exactly how to wholesale rental properties with tenants in there. I'm ready to go. I'm excited. Primal's ready. Ishmael's ready. Let's get it, guys. If you're ready to learn exactly how to wholesale properties with tenants in them, let's get it. Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Oh, yeah. Love to see it, guys. Love it. Guys, thank you guys so much for the support here. So without further ado, let's kind of talk about wholesaling rental properties with tenants in them. Let's kind of break it down today because I feel like the people need it. People are excited for it. So let's get it going. Let's talk about it. So wholesaling rental properties, basically, oh, look at my face. I'm so shocked, right? Let's break it down. So number one rule here when wholesaling houses with tenants, I can tell you right now, is never lie to the tenant, to the buyer. And I feel like that's a really big lesson that a lot of beginners need to really understand here. So technically, what is like a tenant? Like, what's this tenant relationship sort of looking like, right? Well, basically, this is a property where there's a landlord who is renting the property out. And the number one rule I can tell you right here when it comes to wholesaling houses with tenants, never lie to the buyer that there's a tenant in there. I know a lot of wholesalers out here are liking to lie to their sellers that there's no tenant in there. There's no tenant. He's going to be out. It doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to know about it, guys. Be upfront with it. Transparency goes a long way in this business, and a lot of people aren't transparent. And you have to be a step above, especially with the other cash buyers. So rule one here is going to be never lie about the tenant to the buyer. Number two here is going to be respect the tenants. Remember, these tenants are people too. And if you get the tenant upset, if you do anything wrong really with the tenant with this process, you could destroy the deal. So treat the tenant with respect. Don't treat them like a number, right? Like, these are human beings too. This is a family, right? Some tenants, it's a family moving. So you got to help them out and, give a win-win solution for everyone, right? Remember, we are on the seller side here, but again, we have to show some empathy and humility and really help these people out too. Number three here is we're also going to teach you guys today how to use the tenant as leverage for your success in wholesaling. I think that's pretty important sort of to go over that, but like, use your tenant to your advantage. I'm going to show you some sneaky stuff you could be telling your tenant so you can actually get an extra $10,000, $20,000 out of like better negotiating price with your sellers. I'm telling you guys, it's killer. Next here, and I feel like a lot of beginners get really confused with this, but here's the truth. Wholesaling houses with tenants in them is the exact same, basically the same process as wholesaling a regular deal. People are like, there's extra paperwork, all these guys. Everyone likes to complicate this business. I could tell you straight up though, wholesaling houses with tenants in them is going to give you basically the same profit to a point, and it's the same like flow of the deal. Just going to switch a little things out, but like the fundamentals isn't changed at all. So that's cool. And this is really important, guys. And I'm going to be very, very, very forthright with this, but never, never, okay? Never, ever, ever, okay? Never, ever, ever let the owner rent back the house as a tenant. Let me repeat that one more time. Just in case you guys didn't hear what I said, because this is a rule you guys got to get through your brain really quick. Never, ever, ever, never, ever, ever, okay? Never, ever, ever let the owner rent back the house as a tenant. I get asked this a lot of deals. You do not want to do this. I will straight up tell you, like, you do not want to be doing this, okay? Do not ever sell. Have a seller says, well, can you just buy the property for me and then rent it back? First of all, it's going to be very hard to wholesale that. And the seller actually has a lot of rights back to that property in a lot of states, and judges sometimes most of the time, it's not good. And you could lose out on the deal, and no, okay? Do not be doing this, okay? Like, this is never good, okay? Let me break down the type of tenant. So for wholesaling houses with tenants in it, we have to understand what the types. And usually I found there's about 3 types of tenants with this. And each one's going to be different. Like each one has their own motivating factor, right? And this is, you sort of have to put them in. So I found about 4 tenants when it comes to wholesaling. Obviously, you can use whatever method you want for anything else. But like, honestly, this is what I've seen. Number 1 is the nightmare tenant. I've seen this so many times, but it's the honest truth. This is the quote unquote nightmare tenant. This is the tenant that literally is straight from evil places. They will not pay rent. Either they're not paying rent at all. Either they're going actually out here and they're destroying the property, right? They're making it worse. They're not paying rent and they're destroying the house. Maybe they have the crazy dogs. Maybe they're causing code violations, a headache. They don't deal with the seller at all. Like, guys, you know these crazy tenants, right? Number 2, again, there's a lot of those nightmare tenants. A lot of them maybe getting arrested, doing bad stuff at the house, right? Number 2 is going to be the angel tenant. I love the angel tenants. There's plenty of them out here. Preferably, this is like a 60, 70-year-old person that keeps the property immaculate, clean. They clean it every Sunday. They like a nice, clean house. They pay like 4 days before the first of the month. They're really sweet, awesome. We love the angel tenants. Number 3 here, I call these the quote unquote average tenant. And what is the quote unquote average tenant? The average tenant is going to be the tenant that pays every month. Maybe they're late a couple times. Hold on. They're late every month, and not late every month. Sorry, I just got a text there. Let me put my phone on silent. I don't know why, but they're late maybe once a year or something. They're pretty average, right? Maybe they want to stay there for a year or two. Nothing crazy. And then 4th and last, I call these the freebie tenants. I'm not calling them a freeloader or anything, but like they're for the freebie tenants, right? These are going to be the friends and family members of the landlords that I call it freebie, but like, let's say market rent's like 1,000. They'll rent it out for like 200, 300 a month, right? Like they get like this crazy family discount. Or I've seen with probates is like, the grandma died and then the son's like 3rd uncle lives there for free and he's lived there for free for like 4 years. They're all different types of tenants and they have their own situations with it. I can tell you right now, each one's different, and you have to understand each one has different. They honestly all have different needs, and you got to deal with them different ways. And I'll break down more about that. But like the nightmare tenant, for example, like we're just going to have to get him out of there. The angel tenant, usually we have to get him out too. The average tenant depends to a point. The angel tenant could stay too if you have a nice landlord buyer, and then the freebie tenant usually has to go. If the freebie tenant is an heir to a probate, really hard to get them to motivated to sell the property. Obviously, you just got to understand that. Those are really the tenants that we have. So you got to understand how they all deal with. They all got different needs, right? So let's go over the step-by-step on wholesaling a house with a tenant, landlord type property, right? Number 1 is going to be gathering information. So number one is like, why is the landlord looking to sell? Like, why is the landlord looking to sell the property, right? That's the first question we have to ask when we have a seller that is a landlord. Why are they looking to sell the house? Is it because the tenant's a nightmare? Is it because the tenant's not paying money? Is the tenant a freebie tenant that's been paying zero for too long? You know, the tax bill's coming up. A lot of landlord tenants try to sell the property before tax time. You got to understand that. But really understand the motivation, because sometimes the motivation is with the property. It's got too many repairs. They don't want to deal with the repairs. They might not have the money for repairs. Sometimes they're just sick of the land, like the tenant. Like, it really depends. The next question we always have to ask here is there a lease on the property, right? Is there a lease on it? Because I'm telling you, houses with tenants that already have a locked up lease for like over 4 months, 6, 7, 8 months. I've seen 12 months, right? It's the average one. They sell for way less. And I want you guys to understand that houses with tenants in them sell for way less. And I think it's really important for you guys to understand that, because never fun to know, but like, I know sometimes people deal with a seller and the property has a lease in it for like 11 months, right? If you can't get that, and that landlord and that tenant doesn't want to get out of the lease, you're stuck for 11 months. It's really hard to wholesale that house. You know, you can't raise the rent, you can't do anything. It's bad. What I can tell you also is you got to understand and ask the seller what the rent amount is, how long the tenant has lived there. Basically, and most importantly, this is a quick secret. I don't know why anyone ever doesn't say this, but here's the truth. It's like, you got to ask, when's the last time you physically been inside the property to that tenant, to the landlord? Because a lot of these landlords haven't been inside their property in like 3 or 4 years because they're kind of lazy. I get it. You know, life happens. But you as a wholesaler got to understand that, because if the landlord hasn't been inside the property for 4 years and they have this price in mind they want to sell it for, and they actually don't even know the condition, maybe you got to go look at the house before you do anything, right? And I think it's pretty important for you guys to understand that. Last but not least here, when it comes to gathering the information, you should probably know this to a point. Some tenants are really good at their rents, but a lot of them aren't. Just know that most mom and pop landlords, they underprice their rents by far. They are mostly always. So if the market rent's usually $1,500, most of them are like $1,100, $1,200 a month, like way less. And it's just because they don't want to deal with the hassle. They don't like raising their rents. It's an uncomfortable conversation for the landlord to the tenant. I get it. So you just understand that when it comes to the gathering information process, this is when you're having your conversations with the tenant stuff you got to be talking to. And that's what I've seen. Number 2 here is, once we're talking to the seller, we're going to be giving the solutions. So it's pretty important, right? So let's talk about, so give a solution. So step 2 here, we're going to give the seller solution to the problem. Like, that's as wholesalers, like that's what we're looking to do, right? And how do we do this? We basically explain that you and your partner does, like, you just got to explain what they do. So what do you and your partner do? Like, what does your partner do? Basically, what you do is you give properties, you basically give a cash offer to the property. Like, you're basically giving offers on properties. And that's what you do. You get rid of it. They can get rid of the property, cash. It's easy, right? You have to explain also, this is an uncomfortable part of this, but you have to explain that the tenant must go. What do I mean by this? If the tenant's in the property, they need to leave by closing date, and you're looking to buy the property. And you know, a lot of the landlords are trying to be nice, sweet people. I get it, but like, a lot of them aren't cut out to be landlords. That's the honest truth. But you have to explain to them that the tenant really has to be gone by the closing date, first of all, so we can make our money. Also, your landlord, like the next buyer, cash buyer, they're probably, honestly, like, they're looking to go renovate the property, put it on the market, or renovate it and get a higher rent. They don't want to deal with the condition it's in now, because it won't get the best ROI. And you got to explain that to the landlord, and they usually understand it. Just got to remember, guys, you need to show empathy, and you're going to have to help the landlord and the tenants out. You have to help both of them out. Show empathy for both sides. You always are going to be on the seller's side, but you need to also help tenants out in situations. You just don't want to treat them like dirt. It will come back to you, and the seller might not even like you for doing that. So just understand, a tenant can ruin a deal if you're not nice to them. So it's always just be good and nice. It's always good to be nice to other people, but just be nice to your tenants, guys. Like, I see a lot of wholesalers treat tenants really badly and they lose deals. I don't need to be that kind of person. And I hate it when people do that, because you're going to lose out on deals. Step 3 is going to be the walkthrough. Oops. Step 3 is going to be the walkthrough here. So just understand either the seller and the tenant have to be on the property or just the tenant when it comes to you walking through the house. Basically, what I always say is come in as the inspection person or a partner. Don't ever lie about like being something else. So either the seller walks in with you or just the tenant. It doesn't matter. Guys, don't bring your cash buyer first without you getting the property locked up. Shout out to our boy from South Carolina. Hopefully he didn't do that, but we have some situations where like someone wants to go out here and walk through the property with the cash buyer without getting locked up. That's how you get your deal stolen, guys. So just understand that we're going to come in as the inspector. We're going to inspect the property, right? Because we're looking to buy it, and maybe come in as a partner with someone. You never know, but don't lie about the others. I've heard people saying, "Oh, we're an inspection company. Oh, I'm a property appraiser. I'm a handyman. I'm an insurance adjuster." Don't lie about the stuff, guys. Just come in as you're inspecting the property. Like the tenants really don't care. Like to a point, like they have usually most leases, they have to let you inspect the property on 24, 48 hours of notice. So it's not really that big of a deal. Just understand, if there's any problems with the house, that's what you're going to be asking the tenant. So if it's only you, and let me say this one more time, if it's just you and the tenant there, now we can use the tenant for leverage to get good information about the house. So ask the tenant, hey, is there any problems with the house? Can you show me what needs fixing around the house, leaky roof, mold, etc.? And usually they're the ones who live in the house, so they know the issues with the property, and they'll be more than happy to tell you, oh my gosh, this faucet's leaking. This is bad. The electronics doesn't work. There's a leak right here. If you open here and knock, it's really soft. Like they will explain everything. And the cool part about this is, I'm telling you, it gives you a lot of leverage. And you're going to go back to the seller and explain all those things. Like, I didn't know all these problems. The tenant never told me. Well, they told the inspector guy, so they can tell you basically. So basically that info goes to you, and then you can use that for better prices. You can make extra 10 to 20K. And also we got extra bonus tips at the end here. But what I'm telling you is if you're meeting with the seller, what you're going to do is meet at a secondary location with the seller after. Do not try to negotiate in front of don't negotiate in front of the tenant, and just meet with the seller at a secondary location. A lot of Starbucks, McDonald's, whatever, wherever they want to go at their house. It doesn't really matter, but you're going to have to do that. Literally do not go out here and try to negotiate, bring contracts out in front of the tenants. And I know all my John Mulaney people, they know, don't be going to no secondary locations. Here's the truth. John knows what he's talking about. It's never good to be going to a secondary location. Everyone knows I forgot his name. The old dude with the mustache he talks about on his special. This is a comedy guy. He always talks about don't go to a secondary location. It's true to a point, but for this time, we can go to a secondary location. Hopefully one person watching this got that joke, but hey, if it's just me, I can just crack myself up. Step 4 here, we got the contract right. So we're going to negotiate, get the contract locked up for the best price. We're going to use the tenant's information to get the best price out of it. Maybe some issues with the property. We're going to usually leave a very long inspection period until the tenant walks out of the property, because you never know. Like I've seen tenants trash houses. I once had a deal where the tenant, it was like sawdust all over. I was so confused. I think they were doing drugs in the house, and to get rid of the paraphernalia and stuff, they literally sanded all of the, oh my gosh, they legit sanded all of the paint off the primary part of the wall. I actually did a video on that on YouTube. I think my first year on YouTube. I was like 19. It was disgusting. Oh my gosh. It was a complete mess. And I could have gotten a better price, but I still made like 70K on the deal. Like I'm not going to be upset over that, but just understand that somebody trash the house. I've seen it all the time, right? The landlord will need to give a 30 days notice once you get the property locked up that the tenant needs to leave or start the process. Not like the tenant usually has to leave before you get the best price, right? And this brings us back to the cash buyer. Most cash buyers really don't care about your tenant. That's why I always say just be upfront with it. Like they honestly don't care. As long as they're leaving at the closing, as long as the tenant's leaving at the closing, it's fine. It's really not a big deal. Just understand though, that when you're doing a walkthrough, again, the tenant's going to be there. So do one more walkthrough with the cash buyer. It's fine. At least 30 days before closing, you should be good. Just remember, the tenant really shouldn't care at all if you're doing a second walkthrough because they're already moving. So it kind of makes sense, right? So they're fine. Usually they're fine with it. Let me give you my bonus hack really quick too. So that is wholesaling rental properties, but just understand, I want to give you my bonus hack for getting an extra $10,000 per deal. If you think you're going to get some value from that, you let me know because I think it's going to be very valuable. So let's break it down. So here's my bonus hack for basically making an extra 10K per deal. So in some crazy scenarios, when there is a lot of pain associated with a house and associated with the seller, so the house is really painful, the situation. Some occasions, if you're savvy enough, you got the money, you got the right tenant, you got the right cash buyer in place, you can, this is more of an advanced strategy for my advanced people, but just understand this. You can agree to buy the property with the tenant in place and basically say, hey, I will evict this problem tenant for you as long as I get a better price. And that eviction might cost you $1 to $2 grand, or you do cash for keys or something like that. You basically get an extra 15, 20K in profit from just offering that. It's pretty cool, right? So you get a bonus 10, 20K out of that deal. Like if that's the situation, I will tell you though, this only really works for landlord friendly states. So this is kind of going to be in the Southeast, avoid like New York, Illinois, California. But landlord friendly states, this is where you're going to be. Let me look up the landlord friendly states for you guys. Landlord friendly states. So let me break down the top 10 landlord friendly states: Indiana, Georgia, Kentucky, Texas, Arizona, Florida, Alabama. So if you're in those states, you should be fine there. But overall, guys, that is literally how to wholesale properties with tenants in place. Works pretty well. But honestly, like I make a ton of money on deals with tenants in place already in it. So I think you guys should all be doing this. Oops. I think I got the keyboard messed up here. But honestly, that's what I found. You guys let me know. Oops. Yeah, I'll deal with that later. I don't know how I did that, but whatever. All right. Basically, wholesaling property with tenants in it, pretty easy. I have a lot of actually vlogs with this on here, so I can explain it. Actually did a wholesaling documentary about wholesaling a house from start to finish. Actually had a tenant in place on it. No, I had somebody living in place, but basically the same exact thing. So we got some interesting questions. Let's sort of get into it, guys. Remember, smash that like button and subscribe, and let's talk about it. So number one here, we're going to ask here from SKF, what if the lease is up in 3 to 4 months? That's an interesting one, right? Like, what do we do in this situation? Honestly, what I'll tell you is if the lease is up in 3 to 4 months, I probably would wholesale it and just agree to close on or before 4 to 5 months and just kind of leave it out there. I think 4 to 5 months is fine. I don't really see an issue with that. Also, guys, on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I talk to everybody one-on-one. So want to hop on? Here's my StreamYard link. I think everyone is able to see that. I'll put in the wholesaling houses for real chat for you guys to actually, if you're watching wholesaling houses for real, like just go on the YouTube and it'd be on the StreamYard link there. I'll try to post it in the comments right now too while we're doing it. But just hop on, talk to me one-on-one. Always try to help the people out as much value as I can. Love to give that, guys. Also, join Wholesaling House for Real if you haven't. Is the #1 group for wholesaling real estate. I think everyone knows that, but throw that in the comments here. All right, put the StreamYard link in the comments for you guys watching. So love it. Let's go over some questions, right? Go on here. What if the seller wants tenant to stay since they've been there 8 years? How do you deal with that? So that's a great question. What you have to understand is I get that all the time. What I've seen most of the time is, unfortunately, it's like the tenant has to go. And you're not going to find another wholesaler that's going to let that happen unless you have a cash buyer that's willing to do it. Most people don't have cash buyers that are willing to do it. So it ain't really going to be a good deal. Usually the tenant has to leave. It's life, right? They're renting the house. They don't own it. So of course, Kimberly, appreciate it. MJJ Smooth Criminal in the house says, what is the best approach to cash buyers without sounding like a rookie or a scammer? It's a pretty good one. Now, That's a good, like, honestly, the only advice I can give to you is confidence. And how do you get confidence when talking to sellers, cash buyers, approaching anyone, especially in this real estate industry? It's talking with confidence, conviction, and with authority. Not having this big ego. I'm not telling you go get this like crazy big ego, but one strategy I have found that's given me a lot of success in this business, and I cannot say this enough, is just going with empathy in your heart and being confident you can help someone out. Remember, the cash buyer, they need to convince you to go with them to a point. Like, you are selling a contract. Like, you don't have to convince them to buy this, right? They need to go look at themselves. There's plenty of cash. There's more cash buyers than sellers out there, so you're going to be fine. Just have confidence in yourself, and you'll do really well. I'm telling you, confidence is going to be key here. All right, let's get some questions going. So MJJ from Criminal asks again, how many rental properties do you usually wholesale? I would say at least 10% of my deals usually have tenants in them. So, I mean, it's a good amount, right? Got so much better at qualifying sellers. Thank you, Zach. Of course, bro. Always here to help. Thank you. Of course. Of course. Thank you, Wayne. Appreciate that. Michelle says, what do you tell the tenants if they ask us if we are buying the property, and do they have to leave? Michelle, that's a good question, right? Like, if you come in as the inspector by yourself, just come in. Now, if honestly, you have to ask the landlord. It's really up to them. So you need to have that upfront conversation with the landlord of saying, hey, what should I say if a tenant asks me this? It's not up to you to say this. It's really what the landlord is. Because if you say that and you don't get the deal, that tenant could be freaking out. Like, oh my gosh, they're selling the house. People panic. Trust me. We're humans. We're emotional, right? So you got to be careful with that. Usually I say, possibly, I'm just looking at the house. I mean, to a point, like, if that's a bad answer though, because you have to ask the landlord, and they usually have to say what you want to say or something. So, telling you, Kimberly, it's true. These tenants will spill the beans. Jan said, this is answering a lot. This is answering a ton of questions I had in my mind. Thank you. Of course, Jan, appreciate it. Primal Eskimo says, oh, I follow the method that Rick and Zach teach. Rick teaches the volleyball method. I'm telling you, that volley ball method works really well. It's really good. Let's see here. Wayne says, what if the seller assigns you the property and the lease? So, Wayne, I kind of explained that a little earlier. You do not want to be going out here, and you do not want to deal with the lease. And I'll tell you that straight up. You do not want to be dealing with the lease here. It's just not a good play. So you want to assign the contract, not the property. The lease you don't want. Like, honestly, like, it's worth way more without the lease. Facebook user says, how often do you skip tracing contact property owners by LLCs? I feel like they're doing what I'm doing and not sure if it's worth it. It depends on the list that the LLC is on. That's all I can tell you. Appreciate it, guys. I mean, yeah, you're telling the truth here. You know, like, the rent back situation is a major problem. Pre-foreclosures, they want you to rent it out. They're trying to take advantage of you, and a lot of them will go back to court and say, "Oh, they stole the property from me." You know, but oh my gosh, happens all the time. All right, let's see here. Hello? 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 You here?
Oh, hey, what's up, Zach? I didn't know it was my turn.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, and yourself? How you doing?
I'm blessed.
Good, good, good. Hey, man, I actually just started wholesaling. Well, I mean, I did wholesale, but I was more of a dispositions manager for my buddy. I'm actually only like venturing out to do my own thing now. So I actually pulled my list. I got a few things, and I guess I have a few questions regarding like, I guess EMD. That's what kind of worries me. I don't want to back out, right? Sometimes I feel like my marketing list isn't the greatest. I think I messed up usually with the zip code, so I'm just trying to figure out how I can. Because I actually have a lead, right? I have a lead. I just got to follow up with them. We agreed to a price, but I'm not too committed on the price that we agreed upon. So I'm like thinking if I should either just renegotiate or just not end up doing it. So basically, I guess the ARV that I got was like 160. We agreed upon a price of 114. I'm going with the rehab of like 35K at most. I'm not at most, pardon me, at the least. And I don't think that's like a sufficient price. And at the end of the day, I checked on PropStream. The estimated value was like 257. But again, I go to Zillow and it tells me it's like 163, right? So I'm just like, I'm a bit I'm a bit confused, to be quite honest with you. So I'm just like,
Okay.
yeah.
So why is Zillow saying that high and then your ARV is 164? Is Zillow like what market are you in?
I'm in California, so I'm gonna be in San Bernardino.
Okay. I don't see a lot, bro. I don't see a lot of Inland Empire properties selling for under 250, man.
Yeah,
And it's a hot market, dude.
for sure.
Are you sure? How sure are you that one? I mean, you do dispo, man, so you should know that
Yeah,
market pretty well. I mean, you sure on that 164 ARV?
I'm going based off of my comps, and I can't get anything above. And I found a second comp that's like a 230 something, or I think it was a bit higher. Pardon me, but it's just one comp. I can't rely on that. Where I'm going with other
Yeah.
comps, so I'm just. I guess I want to lock it up because again, that'd be my first deal of doing it by myself, venturing it out. But it's just I don't want to put all my. Yeah.
What's the price?
I have it at 114. Yeah.
I mean, I just did what 170 minus 35, right? And then 83% of that, which I mean, in SoCal, you could probably push to 85. I mean,
For sure.
I hope you're wrong, but honestly, like you're doing what you have to do for your comps. A lot of people they go for the biggest comp and then think they do it and they're fine. And the tenant's not looking to budge.
What he's
Not
actually
the
he
tenant, the
doesn't.
seller.
Yeah, he's not. I kind of brought him down from 122 to 114, um, which was I think was good. But at the end of the day, I just don't want to, I guess, lock it up, right? And I have on my EMD. I guess this is my next question was I should just stick to just putting $100 as EMD, correct, on the contract, or should I just
No.
not even
Well, let's
mention
talk
it?
about the first thing first, man. So what? So is he willing to go down from that price or not?
He seemed a bit, a bit stuck on that price. I don't really think there's enough room. I don't want to, I guess disrespect him as well, where it's like he doesn't want to do business anymore.
What price? How far are you from that house?
I'm about like 3.5 hours away, to be quite honest with you.
Are you in LA?
Yeah, I'm in Orange County right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we're probably gonna put that off the table. Like I just say go meet him at the property, right? And then try to get for 100, but it's not worth a 3-hour drive.
Yeah,
Honestly, what I can tell you is
I mean, I don't mind sharing the address with you. You can run your comps on it as
no,
well. If that's it.
I mean, there's too many people in the chat. So,
True.
in the private chat. So what I'm gonna tell you right now is would this be your first deal?
Yeah, by myself, correct? Yes.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to do your own mental math here. So I can tell you what most people would do and what I would do in your situation if I needed my first deal.
Yeah,
There's at least enough money to make probably 1 to 2K on this deal. So
for sure.
I think you can do something. SoCal's too crazy right now. It's crazy. So I would probably lock it up for that 114.
Yeah.
Contingent. Do you have pictures inside the house?
I don't. I mentioned to him if he could let me. He said he's rather better for us to get under contract and go to it. He just doesn't want to scare his tenants off,
Fine. I would say lock it up. If he won't give you contracts, lock it up. Just say I need me and my partner to go buy the property, bro. You were locking a property up sight unseen. The sell you can't. I'm probably in trouble for this, but I'll say this.
Go ahead.
The seller can't get upset with you wanting a lower price if they're trying to get you to lock it up sight unseen.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I would say lock it up for 114. bro, I've seen this happen before. I've gone to a house. I thought it was gonna be a complete, like the seller's like, oh, it's kind of beat up a little. And I found granite countertops, great flooring, the roof's good. Like the definition of a bad property to a seller sometimes is different than yours. I'm kind of got PTSD from the crazy property that I've seen. So honestly, if he was making you see it sight unseen, I would lock it up.
Okay.
Bring a cash buyer through that. And bro, you could hit a homer on this one. So
Yeah.
honestly, that's what I'd say, because here's the cool part. Once you lock it up, now you can start like giving it to cash buyers, and maybe get a cash buyer. Don't give them a price, but basically like, or if they ask you a price, do like a stupid price.
For sure.
I'm telling you, you might get lucky at like throw it out there for 145, 150. And guess what? You might get one cash buyer says, I need it. And you've never guessed. Bro, my first $100,000 deal I've ever done, I thought I was making 40. I brought some cash buyers through. I thought I was wholesaling it, and they're all just like, oh, 75. I was going to make 75K. I'm like, I'm just going to go wholesale this myself. I was shocked because I was very conservative with my numbers. I'm pessimistic to a point when it comes to my comps, because I don't want to lock up a property for too low. I get it. But this market's so crazy that it could hurt yourself. So I if this is your first deal and they're trying to do it sight unseen, I would say lock it up, bring a buyer through, and do it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and I guess that was my main question. I just been going back and forth with the comps. You know, I ran the comps on Monday, I believe. To Wednesday. On Monday, I gave him a call yesterday, brought him down to like 114. So today, I'm thinking of just trying to lock it up. Obviously,
market's way too saturated for you to. I'm just saying this market's way too saturated right now for you to be sitting on the sidelines on a deal like this. Under 120.
Yeah,
you need to lock this thing up today.
For sure. No, I definitely will. For sure. I appreciate
40
you,
your time, or you need to lock this up by 5.
Yeah. We're actually gonna get on an appointment at 3:00. So perfect that I got on the call. I appreciate you though.
Honestly, I say this from the bottom of my heart. I've had too many deals go where I've locked it up. I thought I was making any money, and then I end up making like 40, 50.
Wow.
And I feel like you have a good chance of that. So I just feel like it's better for you to try and fail. What's the worst thing you're going to do? Get your EMD back? The guy's making you sign it without seeing it. Don't feel bad about it.
Exactly.
Now, this is a 7-year-old old lady, and she you ruined her like financial thing forever, and she get like fined. But like this guy's being kind of aggressive. He's not giving the price you want. Screw it, right?
Yeah. I tried to come in. I got 104. Didn't work. So I was like, we met in the middle at 114. So maybe with me being able to see we'll negotiate something else probably, or if not, just try to lock it up. I've been also just kind of getting other buyers or other people as well from Facebook, and seeing if they're looking to buy in that area. So I have a few people who are looking to buy. I'm just not trying.
A few, bro. There's probably 50 right now that are chomping at the bit. So you need to personally call these people. I would get on it. When's the tenant going to move out of the property? Do you know?
Within 30 days, he said they don't have an issue with him letting him know that. As soon as we, get that sort of situation.
I'll walk him through, man. Then at that point, maybe you want to take a drive, but it's worth it, man. Go do it.
I appreciate it. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
All right. Keep it up, man.
Right. You too, man. Take care.
Thanks. Dude, that's a great deal. Are you kidding me? Guys, I am all for being fine with the seller, right? And like not locking it up for too crazy, right? Screwing a seller. Don't do that. But like when you're trying to get your first deal and the seller actually wants you to lock it up without you even seeing it, I'm not saying screw the seller to the point, but like if you can only give so much reciprocity to someone, if they're not giving you that respect of you seeing the property or giving you pictures of it, lock it up. They can't be upset if you don't do it because you weren't even given the right to go look at the inside of the property. Literally, think of the car thing. When you buy a car without test driving it, obviously not, right? So that's what I'd say. I came from has a good question here. What about a condo with a tenant? That's a good one. So condos are trickier. You have to go check out your HOA. They're going to be a lot different. So check out your HOA because a lot of them sometimes don't even allow LLCs or corporations to buy the property. They got rules on tenants and stuff. So they're not the best. So that's all I can tell you is like they're not my favorite out there. But yeah, I still make money on condos, townhouses all the time. There's still affordable housing. When I see something in like South SoCal for under 150, it's like, whoa, that's affordable housing. Those things usually get eaten up pretty fast. Made it just in time for the song. Appreciate it. Colleen Long, what is up? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Cool stuff, guys. Appreciate it. All right, let's answer some questions. How do you do a deal with an investor that wants you to put a crazy EMD like 10% of the selling price? I always, that's a crazy ask for them. So you have to give them something crazy too. So here's one thing I would say. If an investor, seriously, if an investor wants you to put up like 10%, like that's stupid. Like you're not putting 10K down for EMD. Okay. Just say, hey, you should, if you want an EMD that high, you should probably list the property with a realtor because I'm buying this thing cash within 30 days. I don't really need, like, I don't need to put a crazy EMD like that down. But hey, you probably list the property and find something like that. If they're wanting to do a wholesale, they're not going to be asking for this crazy EMDs. Hi, Zach. Thank you and your dad for all the free information. Love your song. Appreciate it. Of course. Mealy says, Miley, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but where can I get information on land flipping as a beginner? What I could tell you is if you want to get good info on flipping land, what am I going to say? Freewholesaling.com literally has it all. So I tell you, go to freewholesaling.com. All the information I legit tell you is on there. And my wholesaling land course, like they're all like, it's the mega thing, right? Everything you need to know about ARVs, marketing, dispo, literally recorded conversations with me and sellers, everything you need to know, live cold, like it's all at freewholesaling.com. I had someone yesterday they said, one person said, oh, I'm trying to sell. They're like, Zach, you need to sell me on to get your course. I'm like, I don't care. And then I legit, of course, no worries. I also had somebody, this is funny, today on the group, in one of my groups, Wholesaling House for Real group, they said, Zach, I appreciate giving everything for free, but the stuff you get for free, it's just not good enough. And I was like, it's not good enough for you? Like, what else can I give you for free? And the guy's like, well, it's not organized the right way. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I haven't done any deals and it's not organized the right way. I'm like, bro, like, why are you judging the course if you haven't got any deals? And then I say this, the reason why I bring this up is not to poke fun at somebody, but it's like, if you come into my group and you complain that my information is trash because you haven't gotten a deal in 6 months and I haven't seen you once on my one-on-one lives to talk to me, you literally have no excuse. You're literally slapping that my outstretched hand to help you out for free. Guys, I don't know what else you guys want. Like literally, I'll go in the comments right. Let me invite everyone. It's in the comments, right? My StreamYard link's right here. You can literally, anyone, this is on YouTube too. Hop on. I'll literally talk to you one-on-one and coach you for free right now. Get your first deal. Okay. Here's the StreamYard link. You see it right here. So before you complain that my stuff's trash and it's terrible, go on here, follow the advice I say. And if that doesn't work, then fine, call me trash after. But it's often the people that complain that my stuff's terrible. It's not organized the right way. I don't give enough direction. They don't get the one-on-one with me because they don't want to click the link. Always got, Zach, how do I get the one-on-ones with you? That's not fair. I don't get a one-on-one. Do you see the link right here? I don't know what else. The link is right here. Okay? The link is right here. I don't know what else I can give to you except my time right now to go one-on-one with you to help you out. What else do you need? Like legit. I don't know. Okay? I don't know. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. But hey, whatever, right? Go. If you need to pay 10 grand for a course to make you feel good about yourself to go get motivation, then fine. I'm telling you that song I gave in the beginning should be motivation enough for you to get a deal. But hey, if it's not, whatever. Like it's insane. These people are slapping my outstretched hand to help them out. But I don't care. I'm just telling you, before you complain, I want you guys to hop on the one-on-ones with me before you complain. Give a legit one. And that person was upset that, Zach, you always say you do probates. Have you ever pulled a probate? No, I don't pull probates. You complain that I talk about probates. You've never pulled probates. I don't know what to tell you. Oh my gosh, these people drive me crazy. The audacity. It's crazy. Venus says it's organized great for me, much better than when I paid a few years ago with my old coach. So I try. Can you play the song one more time? I need motivation to close my first deal. Got the buyer under contract. Got the buyer under contract with a $15,000 profit. Woo! Love it. I'll tell you this. Post a check. We'll play the song again, okay? Guys, if you want to go hop on the song, you got to get on this live early. I'm telling you. Got to get on the live early. I'm going to hop on and get the song. But here's the thing. You got the buyer under contract with $15,000 profit. I'll give this to you. If you did it, let's get it.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
All right. All right. You know, if you got a close 15K deal, we'll celebrate it. Play the song. Fine. Appreciate it. Love it. Love it, guys. Facebook user says, what would you say to a husband and wife, 23-year sales experience combined, looking to get started in wholesaling? It's the hardest thing getting started. So it is true. The hardest step in wholesaling real estate is getting started. It depends on your market. It depends on a lot of factors. What I could tell you is cold calling niche lists can be your best thing. Check out the live video yesterday. I sort of break it down the right way, but in my opinion, that's probably the best way to get started is cold calling niche lists. And like the fastest way to get a deal, that is going to be the fastest way. You could also drive for dollars in cold call. That's probably going to be the best for most people, especially if you've got some cash on you. That's probably the best thing to do. Seth, what is up?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
What's up? How are you, man?
I'm doing fine, thanks. I'm happy to have you on. I'm happy to be on. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Of course, man. What's up? How can I help you today?
I was actually talking to a seller. He's actually a tenant. He has a triplex up in Houston, but I was trying to find some comps for it, but it was really hard to find. It's kind of a unique property. I was kind of wondering how I should comp it and get the ARV.
Yeah, that's a tough one. A triplex in Houston, that's good. There's going to be plenty of buyers for that. A lot of people are loving multifamily right now. So cash flow is probably your best one. Do you know what the rents for all three are going for right now?
Yeah, it's the total rent is $2,500
for all three.
Yeah, and the sell price right now is at $300. He said he'd probably go down to maybe $290. So I'm thinking at least I can get it down to maybe $280. So I know it does need some work though. So like I'd probably say around 20,000-30,000.
Is it on the market right now?
It's a for sale by owner.
Okay, and what's the FSBO price? Don't tell me. What's the range?
It's between 280 and 320.
All right. You're probably gonna have to lock it up a little lower. I'm just kind of thinking in my head. Is it? I'm just thinking about the cash flow there. I mean, that's a unique property, so it's kind of hard to think of comps there. So have you seen no comps like duplexes, anything like that?
Yeah, I've pretty much seen nothing. And like I've been looking at the 4 rents, and like none of them look like triplexes. They're pretty much all single family homes or like townhouses. So it's like I think, to be honest, I think the rents are pretty low. Like the rents right now, like for a 2-1, he's at 680 for one of the units. Um,
That's
the
low,
other
man.
2-1 is a 900, and the 3-2 is at 1,000. So
Ooh,
the
that's
square
gonna be
footage
high.
is quite low as well because they're under 1,000 square feet. So that's another thing. They are kind of small units.
I mean, is there a reason why the property isn't sold for the FSBO price it's at now?
He told me he was under contract like 2 months ago at 290, but the cash buyer he left last minute, so they never closed.
Probably used a wholesaler.
Probably, yeah.
So 290 ain't gonna work. You're probably gonna has to be like 250, 260 on this deal
250,
for it to
260.
work to make. If
Okay.
290 is not working, 260, 270 maybe. But like if a wholesaler already can't get people through it, like can't get that deal sold, you're gonna have to get lower.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the
And
truth.
I was thinking, should I call cash buyers like from right now and see what they'll probably buy it for,
You gotta lock it up
just
first.
to lock it up first? Yeah,
It's
because I'm
already
thinking they'll
publicly,
find it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was
bro.
thinking that too.
It's already public, man.
Yeah.
A triplex on just being honest, a triplex on a 4 subway enter everyone can find that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You can find that
exactly.
5
I was wondering
So
why it's not sold yet, but yeah, I guess because
the
it's so
price
high.
is usually when a property doesn't sell, the
Mm-hmm.
price 9 times out of 10 is just too high.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Around 250. Okay, perfect, man. I really
Unfortunately, that's the
appreciate
truth.
the insight.
Of course, man, no problem,
Yeah, I'd like to call you. I'll be back next week and tell you how it goes.
bro. Let me know. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much. Take
Thanks.
care. Bye.
Awesome. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right. Multifamily is fire. I used cash flow. Used cash flow comps to find a current market value on the multifamily deal I just did. Awesome. Couldn't do a deal without you, of course. Bro, I got to get it going. You know, Corey's got a really good deal. So shout out to him. He's doing a really good one. Woke me up. Cold theme song. I love it. I love it. So Ben's got a good one here. Hey, Zach, what do you think about the Louisville, Kentucky virtual market? In person is going to be the best. Louisville's okay. I mean, if you're from there, maybe. I don't think you go wrong with that. I think the counties and around there should be good. Dayton's probably a better virtual market, though. And Cincinnati. Awesome info. You guys are great. Appreciate it. Awesome. Thank you. Try to tell that dude, hey, don't worry. So this is an interesting question, and I kind of want to talk about this. It's like, what are some strategies you use to convince sellers to use your title company instead of theirs? So I sort of don't like the way this is worded to a point. I'll kind of explain. You're not here to convince a seller anything, especially in wholesaling. You are not here to convince them to do something, do X, Y, or Z, or this or that, right? Now, if they want to use their title company, they're not paying for title, so they don't have a right for that. Okay, like straight up. Like if they want to, if they have the audacity to try to tell you, oh, you're going to use my title, no, I'm paying for title, right? And you got to use your own title company. Like that is a rule that you don't switch. That is a concrete rule for wholesaling. You have to use. Corey says, so off topic, but can I write off some of my assignments if I roll the profit into marketing? I'm nervous already about tax time the next year. So, Corey, if you don't have an LLC, then no, get an LLC and start writing things off. Corey, like some cool part is like you can write off your vehicle, your gas for drawing for dollars, right? If you're using PropStream, like all these things, you can write it off. Get that LLC first. Get a bank account, separate it, so you're going to be good. We thank you for all you do. Of course, appreciate it. Appreciate you. So AC Dizzy has a great question here. Do you recommend having a lawyer to look over the contract before making your first deal? yes and no to a point. What I can tell you right now is if you actually have a lawyer at a title company look it over for free, that's going to be the quick hack. So sure, make sure that there's a lawyer at the title company. Usually they do it for free. Corey says here, I've seen this a lot of late that buyers in my market want a property with tenants in place. I think they're doing lease options with tenants. A lot of tired landlords from, yeah. I don't see buyers wanting them in place. I really don't. Like, that's honestly what I've seen, especially in Tennessee. Like, a lot of them are flipping there. So no, to a point, unless it's like an angel tenant, then sure. But usually the rents aren't good enough. So yeah. Good evening from Pennsylvania. Love it. Pennsylvania is a great state for wholesaling. They got really high taxes for businesses, but it's a great wholesaling state. What do you need? I'm going to be out there tomorrow. All right. So how do I buy flip houses off market? Trying for dollars, cold calling, niche lists. Go to freewholesaling.com, kind of break that down a little more. But yeah. It'll be efficient to comp after calling a seller once they're actually qualified, hands down. Les TV says, I know confidence is key on this, but I'm also starting on this and was wondering if you do comps before calling a seller or after. It takes a lot of time to run comps for me still. So comps do take time. So if I'm cold calling, let's say 100 properties, okay, it'll probably take me 3 to 4 minutes to comp each property, which means I would spend 400 minutes to comp each property before I call, which is ridiculous. I mean, that's 6 hours of comping. No, right? You have to talk to the seller and see it. You have to, if I cold call 100 like leads I get here, what percentage of those are actually going to want to sell the property for cash? Maybe 4 or 5, right? So then you only comp those 5 houses versus the other 95, which is a waste of your time. And your time is very valuable. As you can't buy any more time. So it's pretty important. Chris says, what do you do when most of the numbers I skip trace are wrong that I get from PropStream? Should I pull up to the property and door knock? Sure. No worries. No worries about being late. So how do you get a tenant out of the property if it's occupied? So usually I like to put the burden on the seller to get the tenant out of the property before the closing date. Sometimes in certain cases, that might not be the best. So what I can honestly tell you is for the best rate of success here, honestly, I would probably do cash for keys or just give an eviction. You don't have the right to get an eviction from the tenant if you're not the owner. So it's probably best to put the burden on the seller. Zach Ginn, how can I get off-market deals? Answer my question, please. Freewholesaling.com. Let's see here. I came from Zero says, for Houston, should I use 83 or 70% when calculating my MAO? I've heard you say 83%, but at least local RIAs have been saying use 70. My bad if it's a silly question. Use 70%. You're going to get killed in Houston doing this. Again, my rule is if it is over $120,000 ARV, use 83%. Whatever coach at a RIA tells you to do something different, fine. Do what they're going to say. Don't be listening to someone and then they give advice and you stick with some person. If I'm being straight up, if someone's trying to sell you a course at a RIA for $994 and they're going to RIA to peddle a course from you, they're probably not making enough money in their wholesaling and they got a bad info. I'd say use the 83% rule. If you knew somebody else, I'm not going to fight you. I'm not getting upset at it. It's just wasted energy at my point. Do what I say or not, I can't tell you. But most people who use the 70% rule aren't actually wholesalers. Being honest with you. People that are legit in this business, they're not using the 70% rule anymore for ARV properties over $120,000. When I'm actually finding good deals, I'm overthinking because I don't want to lose that deal. I get it. Kind of that bull method, right? You just got to charge forward, not even think to a point, just go take action. You can get a lot of good results doing that. And I think that's way best for most people. David says, just say we're inspecting the property. Technically, you are at that point, right? Ishmael says, how much are you paying the tenants cash for keys? $500, sometimes $1,000. So usually 500 to 1,000, most likely. Let's see here. I have $600,000 cash in North California. The hardest thing for me is finding flip deals. Well, get a team drive for dollars. So, Joel, honestly, like, you already know what I'm going to say. I have a rule, and rules don't bend to a point. I'm sticking to my principle here. If the ARV is over 120, use 83%. It's ARV minus repairs multiplied by 83%. That's your MAO. So Facebook user says, hey, Zach, will most sellers ask about the earnest money or do they usually not? They usually do to a point if you don't mention it. But, I mean, some of them don't. I would say 50-50. Let's see here. Seller wants you to come look at the property before you get it under contract. How do you overcome this objection? You go to the property. I don't even look at that as an objection. You go to the property, right? I missed it. Did people start using instead of that 83%? Big Bug Bar says, how do I find buyers who overpay for props because my deals are not going through unless I offer above asking price? You're probably not doing the right marketing. I implore you to do better marketing and actually find sellers that want to sell for a discount. That's going to give you the best results straight up. Not going through unless if you want really good cash buyers, I'd say go to hedge funds. You got to let me know what market you're in though. What market are you in? I think I got a deal. I think I got the deal. House under contract, 1.44 acres, 21K. That's really good. Wow. Congrats, Nathan. That's awesome. Is 7% interest fee high for a seller finance deal? I'm not so concerned long term. I'm just going to wholesale the property. Let's look at current mortgage rates. I don't think 7% is actually bad at all. That high. But I'll kind of show you this. We're getting some arms out here. So adjustable rate mortgages are actually coming up. So I'll show you this really quick. So this is just from Google, current mortgage rates. So not bad, right? You can sort of see here from January. Florida. I mean, look at Alabama, right? Alaska, California, right? Like they're all different. So you're in Tennessee. I mean, they vary a tiny bit. I mean, it depends, but like a 4.5, I don't think that's too bad. So like, let's say you're a, right, if it's got a good down payment, right? But like 5.3 is probably what you're going to see, right? As you can see, it kind of went from like 4, it's over 5.5 now, and it should be rising. So, and I think with the environment right now, I don't think 7's bad at all, especially for like a long-term play. Not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, things are getting a little crazy out there. Oops. Let's see. Hi, Zach. Do you have a VA that you can refer me to? Upwork.com. Michael says, hello, Zach. Thanks for the content and your dad give out. It helped me to get my first company. It helped me out to get my company going with my first assignment fee. Michael, that's awesome. Appreciate it. Love seeing that stuff. Appreciate it, Michael. That means a lot. Awesome. It's a cool one. What about Puerto Rico and Hawaii virtual wholesaling in real estate during this time? I would not be virtually wholesaling in Puerto Rico or Hawaii. People from Hawaii and Puerto Rico are usually wholesaling in the United States. Well, Hawaii's in the United States. Puerto Rico is technically part of the United States. In the 48 states. Yeah, I there's people out here that are wholesaling in those places, and yes, they're fine. I'd probably avoid that though. I'm forming my LLC next month. Awesome. Seller wants you to come look at the property. Yes. Zach, May, what is up? William says, if a house is held by a reverse mortgage and the owner is deceased, is it possible to buy it from the mortgage company? It's a good question, William. Usually, no. I'm just telling you, reverse mortgages are usually a nightmare, especially like they're really hard. I would probably avoid it. Just telling you, I probably not the biggest fan of that. Christopher says, I live in the DMV area. Is this a tough market to start as a beginner? What about the suburbs? So yes, DMV is very hard. I am not a big fan of doing the DMV for wholesaling. There are people that run sim-figure operations in basically the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. There are some really good pockets. So like Arlington's terrible. Washington, DC is not good for wholesaling. But there's some good pockets. So Prince George's County, which is still kind of expensive, is pretty good. If you can go south to like Richmond, Virginia, that's going to be way better. Richmond's actually one of the best wholesaling markets out there. Let me kind of check on a map here to tell you, but like it would be the stuff around there. That's probably going to be better. Go here and look. Oops. So kind of look at the map here. Hagerstown's really good too. I mean, boy, Simba is talking about Baltimore. So honestly, that's what I'd say. I'd avoid it. Fredericksburg's okay. It's kind of still expensive. Hagerstown's probably going to be your best bet. And then Richmond's like a little far though. Kind of the middle there. VA wait time has been long. Any solutions? The wait time for the calling or actually finding the VA? Let's see here. Bro, what is up?
Wait. Oh, shit.
What's up?
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Bro, what is up? Good. How cold are you? Is it cold out there?
Yeah, it's cold. Wait, I got some.
What's up? How are you? I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, you got the background going. You probably have a YouTube on underneath it.
Wait, I got some.
You're good. Yeah, you got the background going. You probably have a YouTube on Let me know if you turn the YouTube off because it's got an echo on here. Just give me a thumbs up. But yeah, Jonas is from Sweden. All right, is that better? Just give me a thumbs up.
I mean,
Yeah, Jonas is from Sweden. Oh, take the YouTube's on there, so you gotta just exit out of there, or Facebook, wherever you're watching it from,
I mean,
or mute it. Oh, take the
wait,
see if you fixed it. Got it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you got it.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Cool, man.
Yeah, so I got a girl who wants to sell me duplex, but
Okay.
when I look it up, I've looked it up on batch leads, PropStream, and online, and nothing. It's like a ghost property.
Oh wow. Okay. I mean, did they give you an address?
Yeah, I got the address.
Did you look up do you have their name?
Yeah, I think I do.
So, what market is it in?
North Carolina.
Okay. Well, go to the county property appraiser website and then put their last name and their first name in there. They probably have something wrong with it. What I've seen is it's like 123 Northeast Main Street, and maybe it's really 123 Southeast Main Street. Search by last name and first name, and usually it'll pop up.
Yeah, on the property appraiser website.
Yeah, and then go to public records, and then look up their last name, first name, for the county public records, and then usually the deeds on there too.
Oh, okay. And I got some. Yeah, and how does a JV deal usually goes down? And because it seems like the one who has the motivated seller really pays the piper on that one.
The motivated seller when you're JVing?
Yeah, because like how does usually a JV deal go down? Because it seems like cash buyers are pretty easy to come across.
Yeah, I mean it depends. So I don't think it's really too bad, honestly. Like if you JV with someone, just because I mean you're not even from there, so like maybe it's be easier for you. The motivated seller should be fine if you get sold in a reasonable time. I think it's a win for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's basically it.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
look it up and let me know. Usually it's on there. So there should be 2 addresses on it if it's a duplex. So go out there, look it up, lock it up.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
All right, got this, man. Give it up. All right, awesome. So yeah, he is from Sweden. So wholesale in Sweden. That's all, guys. I want to hear your excuse why I can't wholesale, right? Like, I mean, this dude's in Sweden, right? And it's like midnight his time right now. So come on, guys. William says, if the land is worth more than the house, should I approach it like a land deal? I'm in North Carolina. No. If it's really good quality, probably not. I would approach it as both. If it's got land, if it's got a property on there, treat it as look at it as the property. I made it. Awesome. What is up? Facebook user says, what's up? Make sure you put on StreamYard, you actually allow your access to be on here. Let me go check out who this is. Might be someone I know. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. But what's up, bro? Jay says, cold calling some data numbers. Awesome. So MJ Smooth Criminal says, Zach, what buyers are usually sight unseen buyers, flippers, buy and hold? Usually, I've seen flippers with pictures or sometimes like that. Newer ones like to go look at it. Sight unseen buyers are probably not the best though. The ones that pay the most want to see it. So just understand that to a point too, and it'll help you out a lot too. Bugbear says, I also have people reaching out to me with off-market apartment buildings that I don't have a proof of funds for. I'll get a proof of funds. Adrian says, yeah, I'd probably take 7. I don't think 7's bad. I've been doing everything working with agents. All righty. Tips on Jacksonville, Florida. Love Jacksonville. It's kind of like my local market where like every street's kind of different. So you're really going to have to lock them up for really good deals. Jacksonville's still pretty cheap. You know, there's some good deals there. The Driving for Dollars is still the best in Jacksonville. And there's a lot of people you can JV with in Jacksonville that actually do a lot of deals that you can work with. So yeah. So what do you think of Mississippi, the most unsaturated market? To a point, bro, you got to remember you just don't want to go to the least saturated market out there because sometimes there's no cash buyers there to a point. You want it where it's saturated enough where there's plenty of cash buyers still. Mississippi's good. Always talked about Hattiesburg, Mississippi is one of my favorites. There's some wholesalers there though. But there's a lot of people getting a lot of good deals there. So yeah, that's honestly what I'd say. I like Hattiesburg. I mean, Oxford's interesting over there. They got some bigger-ish cities, you know, over like 100,000 people in there. Mississippi ain't too bad, though. Not too bad. Hi, what is up? Are pictures enough? Starting out, sure. A lot of the times, pictures aren't enough, especially because they have to go buy it, but sometimes they are. Okay, your cold call is wait time for calling. Well, let me know what list you're doing. With dialer, if you're using Zach dialer, probably your number, that's the issue. Let's see here. All righty. School me says my number's getting flagged fast now. Sorry to hear that. Depends how many numbers you're using and if you're texting or calling. Usually, if your numbers are getting flagged on calling, your average call length is too short and it's got to be higher. So it needs to be higher than like usually 10 seconds ish. So you have to have longer conversations. Facebook user says, for example, if a house is ARV is $200K and it needs 30K repairs, yes. How do you do that? Freewholesaling.com. Jay, Hamptons Roads. Oh my gosh. Great market. That's a great one. It's cool as wholesaling from Sweden. Oh, it's awesome. Vincent, what's up?
What's going on, Zach?
What's up, man? I'm blessed.
Yeah, man. I don't want to hold you too long. I got just a couple questions. I don't know if you can hear me. Let me put my headphones in.
Oh, you're good.
Basically, man, I've been driving for dollars. Some great properties. But the downer is I'm finding these ugly houses, but I can't find the owners. The owners are in that person's name. Okay, so you already catch my drift. Skip traces and everything. And I don't want to do. I knock on neighbors. Like, you know, I don't know how to get in contact. I know no one lives there. It's too ugly.
Nobody's living in there?
I know, like you can see mail stacking up. Like the roof is like
Bro, great deal. All right. So when you look at the property appraisers, what does the mail address say?
property appraisers. It's like I said, everything showing that it's in that person's name.
All right.
That
Hear
makes
me out,
sense.
bro. What's the mailing address say? So, for example, if you look at the mailing address, sometimes on those deals,
Yeah, right. So
the
like
mailing address might be at a different address, and that's how you skip trace it.
right. So like I got this property here. I'm gonna just get on my
Yeah.
PropStream
Don't say the
real
address
quick.
or anything,
No,
but
no.
I don't want anyone stealing your deal. But usually, if the mailing address is the same as the property address,
Right.
then we got to do some more digging into it.
And that's
I
the
would
problem.
I would look up the name on the public records. If there's a probate on there, perfect.
Mhm.
Then we go after the errors. I like to Facebook message these people. I like to try to call in those numbers. Obviously, to go and answer, fine. We leave a text, right?
And that's another thing too. All the numbers are DNC that they skip traced.
Okay. And
So you telling me shoot my shot?
Vincent, I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm telling you as if what you're asking me a question to is that's probably the person's phone number. Okay. That's probably their phone number, right?
Mhm.
And if it's on the DNC list, you're asking me, I can't get their phone number. Oh, you do have their phone number.
Mhm.
So you have two options. You can either call the DNC list, and I mean, that's an illegal gray area, in my opinion. Lawyers' opinions too. You do whatever you want with that.
Mhm.
Legally, I have to tell you, do not call the DNC list. But
Right.
you
Of
know,
course. Understood.
people go
Disclaimer.
around that, and so you leave a sticky note at the property, which is probably gonna be your
Mhm.
best bet if you don't want to call the DNC list. Facebook message these people, or you text them. Is it DNT list? Do not text list? No, DNC. So if you're afraid of it, text them. True People Search has their email too. Email them, right?
Mhm.
This thing in your email though, it's like, hey, is this Vincent from 123 Main Street? Don't say, hey, my name's Vincent. I'm looking to buy your. No, just get a yes on that response first.
Mhm. Okay. You said something about checking the probate list. So basically, go to the county.
Yeah, go to the clerk of the court and pull the probates.
Mhm.
So we have a lot of tutorials on free wholesaling on it.
Yeah, I'm actually working on that now. I don't know how to necessarily. I know how to get the probates, but I don't know how to find one person. If that makes sense.
No, I
Like
get
you're
it.
saying. Yeah.
So do you have an example of like the docket, or you pulling the probates that
I
like you
got.
need help with?
Well,
Sure.
I got the dockets. I'm just talking about like for these properties that I don't know the properties that I drive for dollars for. I don't know if they're in probate or not, but someone can't be living there. Like it just
No, sometimes just sitting there. So if you're pulling the
like
probates,
for instance, it was
yeah,
another property that I saw, and for years, not years, but for months, I couldn't find the owner. And then a month later, like they just cut down all the trees, the woods, they redid the house, like it's ready, it's on the market now. But I couldn't even find that owner. I don't know how whoever it was found that owner.
property appraiser, bro.
Yeah.
Look at the property appraiser. Their name's on there.
Mm.
The property has to have a deed to it. Even if it's owned by the city, it's got a deed.
Mm.
You got to look at the property appraiser. I don't think you're looking at the property appraiser, man. And I think that's an issue. So if you're
Well,
looking at those trashed houses, go to the property appraiser, man, and he'll show you the owners.
I mean, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Okay. I'm gonna put another address to this one.
All right, put in the private chat then. I'll look it up.
Okay. So
And what county?
Seminole in
Florida?
Florida. Mhm.
Just trying to make this easier for me. Bro, I've pulled Seminole County so many times. All right. Does the zip code end in 07? Hello?
Hold on, I'm looking now. Yeah. Oh, yep.
All right. FY before here, let me just do this really quick. Oops. What's the search on here? All right. So that's the address.
Right.
All right. Hold on. So I don't know how I exit out this right way, but here's the owner. Try to think how I can do this. Is this a deal you're currently working on?
Right. I don't have it on the contract or anything.
All right. Well, I mean, I'll do this for an example. So let me put this. I'll put it in the private chat for you. Okay. And then you explain what you saw to the people. So click on that. I went to the Seminole County property appraiser.
Right. And I pulled the same thing. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what's your question?
So, okay. So my thing is, like, it's a different name, like, because the first one, it's 2 links. I don't know if you saw that before. So the first one on PropStream is the first person that was on the PropStream. Now it's another name that's on the second link. However, I don't know. I don't know. Like, who do I contact? Do I look up this lady's name?
You contact that lady on the property appraiser. That's who you contact. The property appraiser is the government. They have the best info.
So what do you mean? So how do I go about doing that? If that's a dumb question, I don't know. But
no, you're good, man. TruePeopleSearch.com, or you
okay.
or you pay for it. So I'm just going to call her E. I don't think that's revealing anything.
Right.
So E currently is the owner. I have the book and page number. I got it all. They have the warranty deed from 19 bleep and bleep. We have the street. So what we're going to do here is we know that this person actually lives in the house.
I don't think nobody lives in that house, man. But if they do,
it
that's
says
crazy.
she does. So what I can do here is I'm going to go look up this person again on the property appraiser again. So I'm going to go to real property search. I'm going to share my screen. I'm not going to share the address, but I'm going to share my screen. Hold on. So I'm currently in the property appraiser, right? So I'm not going to say it, but what you see the owner right here, I'm going to put their name in here again and then look it up. So let's look it up. Popping up. Oops. Not popping. The cool part is you can. All right. Let me actually just search real property. Paste.
You went to real property search?
Yeah.
Okay. I see it.
That's the only address that pops up for her.
Okay.
So it means she lives in it or she died. So what you need to do is you need to go to the public records, which I'll do right now for you.
Okay.
And see what's up with it. So it looks abandoned to you?
Yeah. And it has mail already outside. Like, people try to, like, different stuff.
So I'm going to go to the Seminole County. Let's go share my screen just so everyone knows what I'm doing. I'm on the Seminole County Public Records.
Right. That's the website.
So I'm literally just going to go to official records. I'm just trying to read this really quick. Probably official records. Click to accept terms. So oops. So now I'm in here. What I'm going to do is I'll show my screen one more time. I'm going to go put their name right here of that owner.
Right.
Which I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to put their last name. and then I'm going to search results. So I'm going to go look up by file date, Premier Restoration. So we have something from this year already on this. Let's look it up. There is a release of lien on that property.
Mm-hmm.
So let's pop that up and look at it. It says, let's see. On June, Premier Restoration put a lien against this property for $2,000. So that means the lady was trying actively to fix it up. Actually, it looks like they released the lien. So yeah, they put it on her for that one. So let's go back to look at the other ones. It looks like, oops, export. I can export this info. Oops, what am I going to do here? Hold on. All right. It looks like there was another lien done on here. Let me see. Another lien. It looks like the estate. I'm trying to pop up the details here. Alrighty. Nothing else from her except for that one. So the only thing I see is she has a lien on the house.
Right.
So she's still alive. She has something from a bank here. And I'll pop this one up, and that's all I'm doing here because you got to do the rest here. But it looks like they paid off the mortgage, and there used to be an Anthony on here too, on the name, and it looks like he probably passed away. So that's probably a motivation. She probably moved. So honestly, bro, you're gonna have to go look them up and look up that person's name. So if I look up their name. I'm really just going to Facebook here. Bro, come on. Bro. Her Facebook's right here. Dude, her Facebook's right here.
Okay.
And I'm going to do, does this hide their name? No, it does not hide their name. I can't share it. But, bro, this person's Facebook's right here. I'm going to put it in the private chat. You go message this person. You see it?
Got it.
Click on it and like that. They live in the same city. So you need to go contact that person ASAP.
How do I approach? Do I approach it as in, hey, just driving around? My partner told me about the property.
Hey, this is Zach. Hey, this is Vincent. I have a quick question. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Like I said, I didn't know. Like next time I do that, because I do go to the property records, but I didn't on this property because I didn't know where to go.
It says here on the Facebook she's single and she was married 10 years ago, and looks like there's a picture of a guy 4 years ago who could be the Anthony guy. He probably passed away, unfortunately.
Right.
So maybe there's motivation from there. But I literally just sent you that person's, the owner's Facebook account. You go message them from there.
My man.
It takes extra work, man, but I'm telling you, that's how you get the good deals. No one else, no other wholesaler is willing to do that. Or they don't have the knowledge to do that. You do.
Yeah. Appreciate it. No,
Don't be creepy on Messenger, but
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be like, writing some mysterious message like, and she's like, who is this?
Yeah.
But,
so I mean, honestly, it's I'd just probably do a regular message like, hey, I was driving by the area and then somebody told me you were the owner. Is it okay if I ask you a question? And then you kind of go in there from there.
Right.
That's it.
Okay.
Not every one of those are going to do well, but I think you talk to like 20 of those, one's going to be a deal.
I mean, but she gotta be doing something with that house. I mean, if you saw it, man, it
She
looks
tried something. She had a lien on it, right? And it got released. The lien got released. So she spent $2,000 for something. So
but
she's trying.
I saw she had another lien on PropStream though. So
That
the
was
one
probably
you
the
did,
lien that was on PropStream that I looked up.
but it wasn't the same amount. It was a different amount. Must be
It might have been different. I don't know. The reason why I did on the property appraiser, because that's going to get the exact information. Sometimes PropStream's wrong, and also to prove to everyone watching, you don't need to go use PropStream if you don't want to.
right.
But yeah, man, you got the
Okay.
info, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Thanks,
creepy
man.
the amount of information I get on these people. But like, if you want to get these deals, that's what you're gonna have. That's what you have to be willing to do. So now it's up to you, man.
Appreciate it.
Of course,
Appreciate it, man.
go
But yeah,
contact
that's
these people, man.
yeah, that's all I had, man. Like I said, it's a couple other properties I might have to do the same thing and figure it out because it happened the same way. You know, property and the mailing are the same information. So we'll figure it out. I'll let you know how it goes, man, for sure.
All right, and
All
then
right.
I'll look up their name one more time. I'll just show you this too. I literally just did a Google search of this person's name too, and I'll show you this. On the official records, it says they currently live at that house. So I'm just letting you know. And then I'm going to get, actually, let me give you one more trick. This is going to be the worst one. But honestly, you're a subscriber. You're very nice. And you help us. You help. So I'm going to pop it up really quick. I'll tell you this. All right. We're going to go pop up this person's name. We're going to go to this website. All right. So I actually can't pop it up. Dang it for you. I'll tell you this. So I'm gonna put in the comments. You pop up and tell me what you see. And this is how I find out where people actually live. If you go to voterrecords.com, especially for the state of Florida, and you look up that person's name, which I did look up, it gives me their middle name, their age, and where they're registered to vote because they have to put their property address.
Right.
Looks what pops up, man. And then it looks up anyone else registered to vote that on that place.
Relatives too.
Yep, there is a that Anthony guy, right? It has relatives information, related records, and what political party they are, which is kind of weird. But
That's kind of
hey,
weird.
but I'm telling you though, like that's the secret stuff. Now, not every state's like that, but like voterrecords.com, I'm telling you right now, it is killer if like they got that info in your state.
Okay.
Now, people like me, I figure that out pretty quick, so make sure no one knows where I live from that. But like you can get a lot of people's information from that, and don't search yourself up on there, Vincent, because it creep you out. But
Exactly.
the thing is, man, it's out there, so you do what you want with that information. But voterrecords.com, dude, you can find out where they actually live, and it says she lives there, so she actually might. Probably not, but that's where she's registered to vote.
Right. I think that's where she's registered to vote.
But for most people, it's pretty good. So you got the info, man. Got to execute.
My man. Oh, of course. That's the goal. That's the goal.
All right, man.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. Have a great day. Appreciate it.
Man, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you a lot.
I'm telling you right now. I was wanting to drop that voter record thing. I forgot about that for a second, but we got to do the investigative stuff. And you got to really, really do a deep dive on the stuff. Woo! I'm telling you right now, you get some interesting stuff, man. I'm telling you, like if you hop on these lives, you're gonna get the info that I could easily charge a bunch of money for. I just give it out. Douglas says, man, that was fire knowledge that he just dropped the voter records. I'm telling you, what's the percentage of people are going to execute on that? Right? If you can't find some to skip trace, use the voter records. You'll find there's probably another address. Find their age, relatives information. Who else lives in the house, right? Like, for example, if you ever, like, we're talking about this today, how to wholesale properties with tenants in it. If I want to know the tenants information, they're probably registered to vote at that address, right? So if I search that address on there, okay, they're probably associated. All those different names are probably associated, so I know who the tenants are. doesn't care what political party they are, but like, right? Hey Zach, I'm looking right now property for the wait. Hey Zach, I have that I'm looking right now. I just had a stroke reading that. Property listed for $60K for PropStream estimates. Well, you got to run your own comps, man. And look, I got the info, but I don't know how to begin. Start driving for dollars. Zach, a wholesaling detective. Sandra says, what do you do if the seller has X number of bedrooms, but everything else shows no info? You ask them how many bedrooms it does and how many bathrooms. Deaver says, I have a question. Would to ask it on live? Well, go ask it. So again, asked here really quick. What did you say? Bro, watch the replay, man. But I'll help you out. It's voterrecords.com. I'll be straight up. Like Florida's probably the best one for it. That's why I haven't really because it's kind of like a Florida thing. Georgia sometimes has that, but like they're kind of more secretive with the info. Florida's like, oh, you're registered to vote at this address. Okay. Let me just go give it out to everyone for free. Not good. I mean, that is why, yeah, it's weird. So that's why, like you gotta be secretive about like where you register to vote sometimes because like on the internet, right? Not a lot of people know that. It's kind of creepy, but yeah. What do you do if the seller said, oh, I already answered that one. MJJ Smooth Criminal says, Zach, what's the best answer to give when a seller or buyer asks, how did you get my number? The best one is, hey, I got the number from the marketing department. That's one you could say, or we just got it from a software for pulling real estate information. That's it. Usually when they say that, they're not looking to sell the property, though. Second is the GOAT. Appreciate it. Chris says, have you ever had analysis paralysis? So what did you get over? What did you do to get over it? And how long did it take you to get over that? Bro, the best way to get over analysis paralysis is by taking action. For me to get over is just taking action. I was straight into it, That's it. What's up, everyone? What's up, Jason? How are you? Other than Fayetteville, what would be another good county to market? In North Carolina, Onslow County. North Carolina is really good. Side note, loving the long hair, Zach. Appreciate it. I don't know, it's long hair. Appreciate it, bro. It means a lot. Thank you. Hi, what's up, Yiko? How are you? Zach, do you recommend another calling service other than Google Voice? Google Voice won't ring my phone, keeps me from going to voicemail, missing calls. You're probably gonna have to get another phone number and just reset it. Google Voice still works. I use CallRail if you want to pay money. I mean, it just depends if you have the money or not, right? So Corey's got a good one here. Isn't DNC list for solicitation of seller or telemarketing? We aren't selling anything, so can see us not being in violation. Bro, I agree with you here, Corey. It's technically a gray area. I'm not a lawyer. My lawyers won't let me give you an answer for that, so I will not give you an answer. But, it's up to you guys. It's really up to you. So, let's see here. All right. So, basically, how do you do the volleyball method? Basically, the volley method. The best way to get the volley method, honestly, in my opinion. So what I've seen is it's like, so for virtual, it's kind of tough. If you're in person and you're like, well, how much do you need to sell the property for? They're like, oh, I have no idea. The volley method basically says it's like a volleyball, right? They give you the volleyball, you hit the volleyball back, right? You keep following it, right? So the best way to answer that is like, hey, how much do you want to sell the property for? Oh, I don't know. well, Mr. Seller, if you did know, what would it be? And like, oh, I don't know. I just, well, I mean, what price would work for you? I'm like, well, I need to know a price will work for you, or I mean, I can buy it for $1 if you want. You just keep falling back. That's usually what it is. David, oh my gosh, bro, do you have any step-by-step courses? I'll pay for it because I don't know what to do. Step-by-step course on how to do direct mail for free? Mailingmastery.com. You want to know exactly how to do wholesaling? Freewholesaling.com. It's a free wholesaling course step-by-step. Bro, I don't know what else you want from me, man. The free wholesaling course. Yeah, usually I'd go way more than the MAO. Get it for the lowest price you can. It might be a shocking advice from me, but yeah. How much you lowball from the MAO usually to get that initial no? I always get the offer from the seller first. So usually it's under the MAO or at the MAO, and then you kind of just bring it down from there. Dorian's got a good question here. The fire department said I need to be specific when requesting public records of all the houses in the last 6 months that had fires, but what would I say to be more descriptive? I need to be more specific when requesting public records of all the houses in the last 6 that had fires. Okay. I need houses that went on fire in the past month at this firehouse. Right? Do that. Or in this zip code. They're trying to play with you. You got to keep going. Got to keep asking. I probably wouldn't give up too much ground on that one. Zach, is it required to put an EMD? If so, are we able to protect yourself by pulling out of a contract and getting out with your EMD? Yes, you can if your inspection period is long enough. Bro, you already hopped on here. What I could tell you, though, is $100 earnest money deposit is probably the minimum I would put, especially in SoCal. You don't want your deal stolen, so that's what I do. Bro, if you have those nice AirPods, you got $100 for the EMD. Okay, man? Yeah. You got this, man. Good one here. Just search FOIA application followed by your county and state. Yep. Those voter records info is going to help a lot. Some of those difficult ones to find the owners, bro, all the time. Douglas says, yes, there has been permits or the rooms or addition don't count and may end up having to take it down. Yeah, that probably won't count then. Freddie says, how do I find the ARV on a property so I can price the deal accordingly? When I say ARV, I mean how much will it take to remodel a bathroom, put some flooring and paint? Let's see here. I mean, you could price it accordingly. I'd put ARV as the nicest it can be if you remodel everything. So ARV would be the price at its best condition if you put the money into it, make it look nice. And then you get the repairs from there, right? So pricing accordingly would be the ARV minus repairs. Following you for over a year. Thank you, Douglas. What market are you in, Douglas? Let me know. You've helped my business tremendously. Of course. Always here to help. How do I find the ARV on a property so I can... You find the ARV from comps. Freewholesaling.com, we kind of break down comps pretty well too. So, yeah. How should we go over the typical contract with the seller, like EMD inspections clauses? So, bro, you're overthinking this again. I'll tell you. So you basically go over the contract when you're talking to them, like, hey, this is the agreement. I'm leaving $100 earnest money deposit. I'm going to leave about 30-day inspection period, and that's it. Bro, I'm on everyone's watch list. The thing is, I just don't care any. Like I'm at the point where I just don't care anymore. I just, I help the people out for free. If someone doesn't like it, fine. But I think I'm at the point now where, word's out that I help people out for free. So if you want to hop on, learn for free, I teach you. I'm kind of at the point where I'm not here to sell you on giving things out for free. Like if you just want it, take it. I'll give it to you. If you don't want it, if you just want to go and pay for someone, go pay for someone. I don't think it's the best way, but like I think I'm at a point in my life where I just don't need to be like telling people, like it's bad to pay 20 grand for the same information they give for free. I think it speaks for itself. Zach and Rick meetup will be full. Bro, that'd be fun too. But like, so I'll tell you this too. It's like, oh, do a meetup, right? I like meetups. They're great, right? I'll probably be doing them, in the future. I'm traveling a lot more now, which is cool. I'll stop traveling due to the panoramic, but do more traveling around this amazing country of ours and around the world. So doing that in June would be fun, but I'm still doing lives, videos, stuff like that. But what I could tell you is, why do people do meetups? And there's multiple reasons for it. And number one, most people do meetups is because they're trying to put people that aren't in their program, about 100 of them, show them how cool with people that are in the program currently. And they just use that as a way to sell their thing. And that's the truth. Is it worth me flying out? So I'm just being honest with you guys. Is it worth me flying out? Take me 3 hours to go. No, 5 hours in total on a flight front and back. So 10 hours to fly somewhere. Go in a hotel room for a night away from my family. Go talk to everyone for 2 hours and then fly back, when I could just go on a live here for 2 hours and give the same info, or go on live for 3 hours and give an extra hour of information. You guys let me know what's better. And that's the honest truth. And the way this business is run is the information I convey is a lot more different if I give it in person than over here, because I do the one-on-one calls with you guys. That's true. I like meetups. They're fun, but like to a point why you guys don't see me talking at masterminds, events, and things like people get upset. Like I get invited to masterminds all the time to speak. I always say no. And they're always like, wait, why? I'm supposed to be doing you a favor. And why would I fly somewhere out to go speak to 200 people in an audience? I got nothing to sell them. Why would I spend 30 hours of my life flying somewhere that I don't even want to go to, speaking on a stage, okay, that people pay thousands of dollars to go to, and then fly back home and I'm not selling it? Like, what's the point? When I could go on a live and speak to 2,000 people, right, on a video, right? Like, that's the thing. And that's just the way I look at it. So, it's like I do an event every single day, right? That's the truth. So yeah, I don't know what a meetup would be. Plus you got liability, fire code, stuff like that. But I'll look at it. Just remember, most people do meetups because they're trying to sell you on something. I'm not here to sell something, okay? Got a lot of stuff I can say about that. I'm just not going to. Some things are better unsaid, and just know that's it. Take the high road here. Dorian says the fire damage needs to be specific, so you gotta get more specific with that. Guys are killing it. Thank you. Appreciate it, Seth. Primal says, I have idea competition, plane ticket to fly to Florida, fish with Rick. You do not go fishing with him. I'm telling you right now. He will be on that boat. It will be 10-foot seas. You see the waves blowing out there. He'll be thrown up in an hour, and you'll be fishing for 14 hours. A lot of you guys aren't out. You gotta have an iron stomach to be out here sometimes with the winds it's been lately. So be careful out there. Be careful what you wish for, bro. The sea ain't nothing to play with out there. Appreciate it, Kendi. We appreciate you and your dad more than you ever put in words. Appreciate it. It means a lot. Hey, I'm always down to meet people in person, but like, I'm just saying, it's like, well, like, to a point, it's not the best use of my time. And like, I don't, the thing, you have to think differently when like you're not selling something. And for it, like, I'm not selling you anything. Like, what's the point of me spending 40 hours total, like back and forth, jet lag, time away from my family, friends and family, just to go like for 100 people? Like, I'm not being mean, but like I can meet with way more people online. And honestly, like that's the best meetups are those virtual meetups, right? Oh, the networking. If you're not networking online and have people's phone numbers, I don't know. I got once told, Zach, you should speak at this mastermind so you can get connections with some of the top influencers in wholesaling. I'm like, bro, I got them all on my, like, they're all under my contacts. I got 90% of their phone numbers. I call, text them whenever I want. So, right. It's like, it's to the point, like, it's if you're having a mental block, you have to go to Mastermind to get that network. No, you just do it online. Same thing. Maybe it's because I'm a young kid. I was born on the internet, right? So like maybe that's why. But it's the honest truth. Yeah. Jason, you can picture it. It's true. I ain't lying out here. All right. You think I'm doing this as a joke? The fishing's good. Oh, he's staying on. Okay. Those tuna are running. You got no shot. Clean Shot says, I found a house that is vacant. I have a house that's vacant while running. I Truebill searched it and the numbers for the owner are all disconnected. How do you find any suggestions? Kind of like where I talked about Vincent, where you're going to have to go to the property appraiser, find the mailing address, and then search them on Facebook and Facebook message him. That's probably going to be your best bet for success. That's honestly what I've seen. Let's see here. I went deep sea fishing in Florida first time ever seasick, bro. I'm telling you, that seasickness will get you if you're not used to it. We're gonna meet up at the beach, okay? But yeah, love the American flag. Appreciate it. Gotta have it waving, you know. We'll have the Massachusetts flag flying next time, all right? Just for you. Joel, how do I get the thing? We're working on it right now. We're having a problem with one of the things on there, so we're trying to get back to everyone on there. But yeah. So how do I find relatives? The voter record's actually really good for it too. White Pages is really good. Yeah, that's honestly what I've seen. Public record sometimes will pop it up, but usually not. So that's honestly what I've seen. So let's see here. So again, one other thing I want to mention is like, how do you actually find these wholesale, like these properties with tenants in them? Just cold calling the 4 rents that I've seen is probably going to be your best bet for it. So go out here and actually cold call the 4 rents in your area. If you want to go find these type of properties, if you got no budget or anything, you want to do it for free. Most of them are not going to want a cash offer, but some of the old 4 rent listings, they're actually going to be pretty good. So that'd be my recommendation if you want to find those type of houses. What I've seen, be careful of I'll probably be careful of those LLCs listed for the 4 rents. Probably skip that, but yeah. A lot of times I've noticed the address of the LLC is under the home. Yeah. That honestly, like that's how you actually really find it out. Zillow is pretty good. Facebook Marketplace is probably the best one to do the actual owners and find them. That's what I've seen. But guys, if you're getting any value from anything I say today, do me a favor, smash that like button and subscribe. Go below to freewholesaling.com and learn exactly how to get into wholesaling absolutely for free. From me and Rick, we teach wholesaling for free and teach you exactly how to get in this business and how to be successful, guys. I really appreciate it, guys. You mean the world to me. I appreciate all the love and support. It means everything to me. So, guys, smash the like button, subscribe. Check out freewholesaling.com. I'll be hanging out with Rick tomorrow on the live. See if you guys want to talk one-on-one there too. Love to help it. You got to be in Wholesaling Houses for Real to actually get it. So do me a favor, go to Wholesaling Houses for Real on Facebook. Appreciate it. See you guys there. Have a blessed one.